What's up, Wildcore? Très vite, très fast. Hope I said that right. I'm going to go through your video today, your demo of Inferno, and I hope you guys learned some from what I have to say. I think I pointed out some good stuff for you guys to improve, so yeah, here we go. So some of the audio that I recorded with Fraps while I was watching the demo didn't really come across correctly, and I apologize for going quickly, but I'm about to go on vacation this weekend. So the main point I was trying to make here is that you guys don't really have a plan when you're going into defend B site on CT side. And Pixel's right there. He isn't able to see, I don't know if you're able to tell that, but he isn't able to see down B site. And I pause right here, but what happens here is you can see Pixels and Zaleen, you're both on the right, you're both in the same position, and it's really clear that you just don't have a good plan as to what you're going to do, and it's like you weren't anticipating what the terrorists were going to do. So what you want is for Pixels, maybe, or one of you, to go up to the car, get a spot, take one or two shots, try and get a free headshot, get a pick, and then throw this nade that you throw is a little short. And what you really wanted, and I'm about to show you right here, is for this nade to bounce off that back wall and land pretty much in the midst of all of them. But instead you throw it a little bit short. So watch that. Always throw your nades a little bit deeper than you think. And then this smoke is kind of a little bit of buffoonery, but it works out for you randomly because these terrorists are now forced to rush through that smoke. And you guys do a good tactical kind of retreat back into the site. But what you wanted to happen was to have that smoke right in front of Cart, right? But I think Pixels actually threw it off Zillion's back. But if you get that smoke right in front of Cart, then you're able to delay these terrorists' rush and play from better positions and potentially, take care of five terrorists rushing through smokes. Be a lot easier. And then I was messing with the camera right here. The next video is your second round, and what I'm talking about here is some of the same stuff. And what I'm trying to say is this spot, and Pixels plays this spot quite a bit for the rest of the game. The problem with this spot is that, and the problem with doing this like second round is that you don't like. You can buy an MP7 or buy a rifle and get one of these FAMASas on your team over in front of Car and use that advantage down B to get a spot and really see if they're going to try and rush B again or not. And then you have a huge advantage with the rifle at B that you don't have with the shotgun. You really have no information because you, out of necessity, have to play this spot and you can't like peek and get good information at Banana. And in my opinion, it's just it's a much better idea to use a rifle and then try and get more information, try and get more kills using that range advantage that you have for the first 2 rounds after you win pistol round CT side. This next video is just it's just part of a common theme that I saw you guys doing throughout the match, and that's just you have a little bit. You guys need to work on your smokes. Frankly, that's what it comes down to. So Zaleen throws this smoke, which I've seen before, but I've never seen used in a match like this. It makes a little bit of sense to me, but what bothers me is that you can just run up and support Pixels here without having to throw that smoke from way back there. So had these terrorists rushed a lot quicker, you could still accomplish that same smoke and not have thrown it from where you threw it. And that would have been much better for you. The other part is Pixels is playing this spot again, and it works out for him. But I just wouldn't recommend playing this spot, like especially 2 rounds in a row, because it's too easy for you to get cut off here. So terrorists can turn around that corner. They know where you are. They can toss a smoke in front of Zaleen, and then you're pretty much stuck there by yourself versus 5 terrorists. Unless Zaleen pushes through the smoke to help you, but it's just not a great spot when you have so many other angles that you can force these terrorists to go into if you make them come into B. So again, what I would recommend is if you're going to push up past this point, you need to push up to car, shoot some terrorists, drop back, or at least spot that they're coming, drop back, tell your team so that they can rotate or whatever you need to do, and then force them to go into the site and deal with all those angles. And I'm just showing here, you might be able to sneak up there, but this round is what I'm talking about. This round, you guys do it correctly, although you guys are both still in the same position right now, which I don't like very much. So like either one of you could be closer to spools or towards CT, which I prefer, and just make the terrorists have to look in every direction and delay them as long as possible for your teammates to get there. So this is more like what you want to do, and this part of the video, I just wanted to point out one thing that might help you guys a lot. So inevitably, if you throw a smoke where you threw it towards B right here, right, you throw another one just then. Terrorists are always going to push up there and try and, or often going to push up and try and look over cart and try and get a pick through that smoke. If the main problem that you guys have though there is that you both have M4A1Ss, and had one of you had an M4, you have a lot more capability to spray through that smoke and spam and put a lot of pressure on these guys in this position. I just recommend this because this is one of those positions where it's worth having those extra bullets to be able to spam. And there's so many times when it's useful here because not only are you going to throw this smoke, but the terrorists are going to throw a smoke to CT right there or other parts of B, and you want to have that extra ammo. All right, so the next video is from your guys' T side. This round, you just won site here, and you only have 2 guys alive. And what I wanted to point out is just the angles that you're playing right here. So Hypersonic, you're playing behind New Box, which isn't a terrible spot. You know somebody's probably going to come construction and you're looking there. But you got to be really careful here. And you know that you're being covered by Stex, and part of the problem is that Steck isn't playing a great angle for you. So you get an incendiary to your right here, and I understand that, but you need to either not peek to the right, to your left at all, and kind of keep the angle you're looking at right now. But there's a point where you slide over in between the wall and the barrels, and it just shows that you're lacking a little bit of map awareness and kind of how you're portraying yourself in the game and giving yourself away a little bit. But you either want to look towards construction and hold that, but that's going to be very obvious to the CTs, or kind of slide over to your right and get and try and pick somebody moving up close. So Steck here, you have a really close angle towards Hypersonic. Like that small space that you're watching isn't a terrible spot. It's just that you need to peek like every 5 seconds. What I recommend is like count in your head if you have to, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, peek, and you might be able to catch some people off guard. If you don't peek, then you're making it really obvious where you are, number one, because these guys get all the time in the world to clear the whole site, and then they know exactly where you are, right? They weren't even having to guess at that point. They know where you are, and like that op shot would have been much more difficult if you pop out and then he has to move his crosshairs and stuff like that, or you catch him at a bad angle where he's maybe not looking at you. You could have been much better off. So what I recommend, like I just said, is count to 5 and peek that spot, and then you're going to be able to give Hypersonic a much better chance at surviving. And then Hypersonic, you just need to make sure that in those situations you're giving yourself the best chance possible to stay alive by trying. I mean, you know that there's an op there, so you don't want to peek the op, but you can put yourself in a position where you're peeking and get that kill. So yeah, what I'm showing right here is that these guys move all the way into the site, and they know at the end that you're right here, right? Because you're not peeking. But if you slide out every 5 or so seconds, you might be able to catch 1 or 2 of them off guard and win that round easily. But if you wait, like I just said, it's going to make it way too easy for them to figure out where you are and pre-fire you. The next video. Hey guys, that's pretty much all I saw. Pretty much this demo. End I will what I wanted look over to talk to you guys about. I'm gonna make other one that Zillion sent me, and videos. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Or some more notes for you guys. Look over send them to one Zillion. The other one that Zillion sent me. I really enjoyed watching your videos. You guys play live actually. Good game sense. You're going to continually. I saw a lot of good stuff out of you guys. A lot of promising game sense, cohesion as a group. Nothing that is not improvable. More of your and obviously at any level of Counter-Strike smoke placement, you're going to be able to. You're going to be a lot better off. I appreciate you watching. Not claiming that I hope that I was able to help out. Best player in the world either. And just let me know if I can do anything more for you in the future. Critiques will help you guys get better and improve. Again, I'm Parker from HowToPlayCSGO.com. Critique my play for watching and have a good day.